Hey, what's up guys? OP here for some quick Demon Hunter tips. It's my first video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be talking about some skill builds. It's a common question that I get on my stream. It's like, OP, what is the best skill build for a certain MP? And I have a hard time answering that question a lot of the times because people are at different DPS levels. People like to play differently. They have different play styles. So I guess this video is just to outline three of the skill builds that I like to use. I'm going to outline one for low MP, one for mid MP, and one for high MP. So let's just get right into it then. I'm going to outline skills, item build, and a bit of gameplay as well for each of the skill builds. So I'm at MP1 right now. This is going to be for the low MP build. You want to use your primary skill. It doesn't really matter what primary skill you use in this build, just because you're mostly going to be using strafe only. So just use something generic like spray of teeth. Your right click is going to be strafe with the demolition rune. The demolition rune is pretty much the only rune that's viable with this, just because it procs crit. It procs Night Stalker a lot more than the other ones. The proc coefficient is better as well. The extra damage and the AoE is good. So pick up demolition. The cool thing about this build is actually you don't use prep. You're going to replace prep with Trail of Cinders, Vault Trail of Cinders, not only for the added mobility, but this rune actually gives you quite a bit more DPS for those elite packs. You can just kind of vault over back and forth if you're having a hard time killing elites. So use Trail of Cinders. Your second skill is going to be Fan of Knives with Hail of Knives. I like this skill just because you feel really badass using it. Not only that, it's actually a really good skill to clear out elite packs and tough white mobs really quickly. One or two shot them. The third skill you use, just because this skill is really hatred and discipline costly, I like using Companion with Bat. Just that extra 3 hatred per second really goes a long way. Shadow Power Gloom, obviously you want this for your reflect packs. You don't really need to use this a lot with MP1 just because you're clearing everything so fast. But just in case you do run into that nasty reflect pack and you don't want to one-shot yourself, just pick up Gloom. Your passives are going to be Tactical Advantage for the extra mobility, Vengeance, and Night Stalker. So obviously Vengeance and Night Stalker, you need these to upkeep your resource. So I'm gonna show you how Vengeance and Night Stalker really synergize with your item build. So with your item build then, there's really one key thing that you should prioritize, and that's pickup radius. I recommend having at least 20 pickup radius for this build. So I have 3 pieces here. I have my bracers, my witching hour, and my shoulders. Obviously, it cripples your DPS a little bit, but the cool thing is you don't really need really high paper DPS in order to do this. Um, Other than the pickup radius, there's 2 other things that you should consider. Is the first being a strafe crit chance, Natalia's Embrace. If you can find one with even hatred regen like the one I have, you'll be in really good shape. The second one is a Stone of Jordan with strafe crit chance as well. So pick that up. Obviously, yeah, my DPS went from like 606 to 370. You can feel your EP getting smaller, but try not to worry too much about that, guys. You don't really need a lot of paper DPS for this build. I'll show you how fast you can clear mobs with this. So onto some gameplay then. Pretty simple gameplay. You basically just run through all the mobs. Um, the good thing about having this much pickup radius is that you don't have to move backwards to pick up globes. So that's really key. Oh, I don't want to run into that. You basically never stop moving forward, and that's why this skill build is so efficient. I got my essence, MP1, right on. Oh, I forgot to use my bat. There we go. You don't want to over vault because just in case you do run into that reflect pack and you need to pop gloom right away, you don't want to be caught dry there. If you do this right, you shouldn't run out of hatred or discipline. You should be able to sustain those quite easily. This is the dead end, so I'm just making my way back to the main corridor. Try to find another couple of elite packs for you guys. So yeah, you use Fan of Knives. The cooldown is short enough so that you can use it on some white mobs if you want. That was a reflect pack. That's why you want your gloom ready at all times. You don't want to be killing yourself. This is such a fun, fast-paced skill build. It's a really nice change of pace from just doing your regular old spike trap or elemental, other demonic essence. Alright, cool stuff. So I think you guys get the gist of that one. I'm gonna move on into my mid MP build. I'm trying to do this all in one take, so if I do mess up either in my words or in my gameplay, please forgive me. Don't think too lowly of me. I'm trying my best. It's my first video. I'm not a great video editor as well, so I'm gonna try to do this all in one take. So I'm an MP4 now. I'm going to go over the skills first. Hungering Arrow Spray Teeth, that's going to stay the same. Your secondary skill is now going to be Elemental Arrow with Ball Lightning. That's going to be your main AoE damage dealer. You can change Vault to Prep with, like I said, with Prep. The rune that you use is going to be dependent on how much discipline you have. I always recommend that if you're running around with 30 discipline, always use Focus Mind. It actually, if you can get used to not having all your discipline restored instantly, it's actually a lot better. You get a lot more discipline in total. If you're wearing like a Soj, or if you have extra discipline gear, pick up Backup Plan. I'm wearing a Soj, so I'm going to use Backup Plan. Fat and Knives is going to stay the same for the same reason, just to clear elite packs really quickly, get that burst DPS. Bad Companion is going to stay the same. It's obviously Elemental Arrow is a big hatred spender, so you need that regen. Shadow Power Gloom also going to stay the same. Reflect damage pretty much makes this a mainstay for most builds. Your passives are going to be Archery and Steady Aim. The third passive is going to be up to you. If you have EHP issues, you can pick up something like Perfectionist. If you have a snaring scoundrel like myself, you can use Call the Weak. You can even use like Night Stalker if you have some discipline issues, or Vengeance. You can use Call the Weak just for that extra 15% increased damage. Excuse me. So now that the skills are done, I'm going to go into the item build. Since you can't get Elemental Arrow damage bonus with your Nats chest, I'm just going to switch out to an Inna's Vast Expanse with really good Dex and Vitality. You don't need pickup radius, so I'm just going to switch everything back to my DPS gear. I'm going to switch my Stone of Jordan for a Elemental Arrow one. If you do have an Elemental Arrow Deadman's, guys, I do recommend using it. I don't have one at the moment, so I'm just gonna use this rapid fire one. Shouldn't change too much though. All right, pop my bats, and I'll show you some gameplay. I do have one tip for you guys who are new to the Demon Hunter. I'm sure you guys are all aware of how to kite and whatnot, but there is one thing that I would like to point out. When you kite with this build, I recommend that you kite forward. So you shouldn't be kiting backwards. What I mean by that is that you can actually artificially increase your attack speed by kiting forward. So if you, for example, if I just stand still and attack like this, you can see what the spacing of the ball lightnings are. If you kite forward though, you can actually get them a lot closer together. So if you're coming up against a pack that's further away, you can actually forward kite 2 or 3 or 4 ball lightnings and actually get a lot of added EDPS this way. Obviously you can't do it for every pack or every monster type because some of them come at you, or some of them you can't see around the corner or something, but if you can integrate that little skill into your gameplay, it's actually gonna make your runs a lot faster. Other than that, this is kind of a jack of all trades, cookie cutter build. pretty easy, guys. Pretty easy stuff. Use your fan and knives for some damage against elites. Maybe try to pick apart one more. So yeah, I'm always trying to move forward. There's one more pack here. Alright. So you get the gist of that one now. Gonna move into the third and last skill build, which is for high MPs. So I'm gonna crank this up to MP10. Hopefully I won't die. If I do die, please forgive me, guys. Sometimes when I'm trying to talk and explain stuff, I'm not a real big multitasker, so I have a hard time doing that. Alright, so into the skill builds then. Your primary skill is actually going to be now Bola Shot with volatile explosives. You can also pick up Thunderball if you're like in a party and you want that permastun. But volatile explosives is a great great skill to clear out white mobs with. Your secondary skill is going to be Spike Trap with Echoing Blast. Echoing Blast is really the only skill rune that's viable. Every other one doesn't do nearly as much DPS. So pick up Echoing Blast. Prep's going to stay the same. Since you're not going to be one-shotting mobs anymore, Fan and Knives loses its effectiveness. So you can replace Fan and Knives with Mark for Death with Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper is a really OP skill, guys. If you are doing MP10, I recommend that you try to put this skill into your build in one way or another. The marked target takes 12% more damage, plus another 12% is divided among those in the radius, so pick that up. The cool thing about this build is that, I guess, I don't know if it's cool, but you can only actually have 3 spike traps up at one time. If you cast another one, the first one disappears. So you don't want to be spamming, you don't want to be over spamming spike trap. So in this case, you actually don't need that hatred regen as much, since you're not you don't need to spam your hatred. So I recommend replacing companion with damage dealer like Rain of Vengeance, Beastly Bombs. Beastly Bombs is the best one for straight up damage. Shadow Power Gloom for obvious reasons. Passives are going to stay the same as the mid MP build. If you do have EHP issues, I do recommend changing Call of the Week with Perfectionist. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to change to Perfectionist just so that I lower my chances of dying. For the item build, guys, since Spike Trap is a skill that can be boosted by your Nat's Embrace, I recommend trying to find one with like 10 to 14 Spike Trap damage, Dex, and a lot of Vitality. I have one here, and yeah, you also want to pick up a Deadman's Legacy with Bola Shot, since you're using Bola Shot to clear white mobs. And obviously, your Stoner Jordan, you want one with Spike Trap. Alright, let's try this. Give you guys some gameplay tips. When you use Rain of Vengeance, it's really important that you try to pop it beside a wall or in a corner or in a narrow corridor, so that all 20 Shadow Beasts that drop those bombs drop them in a very similar location, so that it maximizes your DPS, your EDPS. And try to find a quick elite pack here somewhere. These guys hit really hard, so just watch out for them in MP10. There's some fallen maniacs here. Oh dear. Those guys are always scary. You can even use Mark for Death on these demonic tremors. They do have quite a bit of HP, so it's not really wasted. But the Mark for Death really comes in handy when you run into an elite pack. There's one right here. So I'll show you guys how I use Rain of Vengeance. So I would normally go up against the corner like this. And then once they're all here, I use Gloom, and then Rain of Vengeance. So you can see all the bombs are dropping in the same place, and this elite pack just melts. Didn't get a demonic essence, but no big deal. I don't want to die. I'm making this video. Embarrass myself, so. I can't wait for 1.08, guys, when they have this kind of monster density in Act 1. And definitely have a lot of fun playing that. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to that too. Hopefully there's one more pack in here to show you guys. Hopefully won't get murked by... Ah yeah, there's one more pack here. Yeah, see, because I used Rain of Vengeance after I used Gloom, even though I got frozen, I was able to regenerate and lifesteal enough HP to stay alive. So that's another real perk of using Rain of Vengeance. Alright, so easy enough. That was MP10, guys. Hopefully you liked this video and it was informative enough. If you're a Demon Hunter starting out and you have a lot of, I'm sure you have a lot of questions, please stop by my live stream at www.twitch.tv/OPnoob, OPnoob. I'll try to link it somewhere in the video. If you have any other questions about skills or items or just general Demon Hunter advice, please leave me a comment on the video or come chat with us when I'm streaming. I'd really love to have you. I do legendary giveaways every day, I do viewer runs, I do gold giveaways, I do gear checks, pretty much everything I can to help out the Demon Hunter community. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I see you at the stream.